Is Russ the greatest point guard of all time? He just surpassed 200 triple doubles. He had 4 straight seasons of averaging a triple double. Statistically, he got to be the greatest point guard of all time. I mean, the next closest guard to him is the Big O with 181 triple doubles. He's not coming back to play ever. It would be hard to say that he's the greatest point guard of all time just because he doesn't have any rings. He never really went super deep in the playoffs. He only got what one finals appearance, so that kind of makes it hard to call him the greatest ever. It's hard to put Russ ahead of a guy like Magic, who got what 5 chips, was also a triple double threat himself. And it's not just Magic. Even a guy like Steph Curry, who really burst onto the scene and marked his name in NBA history, who has what 4 rings now, and I believe the game that made Steph who he was when he pulled up and gamed OKC and Russell Westbrook at half court. So you can't put Russ in front of a guy like Steph Curry either, who who I personally say is the greatest point guard of all time. You got one is Steph Curry, you got two is Magic, um, and then you know I may be biased on this one. You can have whoever you want as third, but I mean, Russ looks like the obvious choice for third all time. I mean, he was just so good, bro. He was literally unstoppable. Like he coming out playing with a high motor every night, striking fear into the other guards. Like it's not too many guys you can put above him. But again, he can't go in front of a guy like Steph Curry, who's the greatest point guard of all time, who is the first, not the first, because Muhammad Abdul Rauf, I think his name was probably like the first Steph Curry who was really pulling up from three and getting busy like that on the perimeter. Um, but Steph Curry really is able to dominate and take over the game off just a three ball. Where before Steph Curry 3-point shooters were seen as soft, who weren't really valued as being the best player or the go-to player, the number one option on the team. And Steph came and literally changed the entire way we played basketball. We used to play basketball from the inside out. Get the ball to your big in the paint. If he get double, kick it out to your guards and let them work near. Or now we got a guy like Steph Curry who's coming down chucking 35, 40 footers with ease, and he cashing it. He's not just shooting inefficiently from out there. He really cashing it and doing it on a consistent basis. So no, you probably can't say Russ is the greatest of all time. Statistically, he has a great argument. Realistically, when you look at it and put everything into context, he should go no lower than top three if you ask me. But I think if Russ had at least 1 or 2 rings, he'd be able to, or we would be able to say with confidence that he's the greatest point guard of all time. Um, I'm hoping he can get one before he retires. If I'm being honest, it's not looking too good for him. But man, he had a great career, bro. He dominated the point guard spot. He's the strongest, the fastest, the most athletic point guard we've ever seen. Um, he was able to really dominate a game, and I mean so much they started saying he was stat padding on triple doubles, which I don't know how you can stat pad a triple double, because if you could, trust me, you don't think more people in the NBA would do it? You don't think everybody would try to average a triple double for their career? You can't stat pad that, bro. He was really just a dog. Um, but again, man, I would like to say he's the greatest point guard of all time, but just when it came down to it, he just don't got the rings to back him up. Arguably, yes, you can say he arguably is the greatest point guard of all time. Just don't have the rings to solidify it. Um, but for me personally, Russ is one of my favorite point guards ever. Probably my favorite point guard of all time. Bro just had a great career. He's still capable of doing what he did in his prime. Still capable of getting the triple double. He's still capable of leading a team from the point guard spot. Unfortunately, on the backside of his career, that's just not what teams are looking for from him. It's a lot of young guards in the league. It's their time to shine. Russ gotta, he got to thrive in a vet role and just be a spark off the bench. We'll see if he can get it done with Denver. If even if he gets one ring, that may change the talk around Russ. Just one ring, and if he actually contributes, it'll change the talk around him. But for right now, he's arguably the greatest point guard
Another
ever.
drive.
Without any rings, it's highly unlikely that he'll go down as the greatest ever. Top